Hi, I'm Rod. This is Custom Chronicles, and today's how-to project is custom painting a skateboard. I'm going to show you step by step on how I painted this skateboard with the metal flake and all the colors and laying out the graphics. And do me a favor, if you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, tell me how I'm doing. A thumbs up would be highly appreciated. But now, let's get into the video on how to paint this skateboard. Alright, here we go. Hopefully I don't have any issues spraying. Typically everything's really difficult for me for whatever reason, but I'm just shooting straight black. Shouldn't be an issue, but the hose will hang up or something. That's that Murphy's Law. But anyways, nobody wants to hear me talk. I'm just going to go ahead and start spraying. And yes, the hose is already hanging up. Just trying to hit the edges real good. Oh, incredible. And there's the black. This is what I'm shooting the flake over. So I'll get a few more coats of it, and then I'll start the next phase. That's when I'll pick up the video. Alright, here we go. This is the flake I'm going to be using. It's old stock. It's F34, pink rose, house of color. Not a product endorsement, that's just what I got. And it's rainbow, it's prism. I don't know if that's showing up in the camera or not, but I'm going to load that up into my cup and do this before I shoot the clear. This way I'm done what I need to do. I don't need much because I'm just doing a skateboard, so I probably got more than I need, but I go more. Always don't want to be short. I don't want to have to dig this stuff back out. But there we go. That is way more than I need to do skateboard. And see if I can walk it under the light so I can really get a good look. Nice and pink right there. Rainbow. So we're going to get into it. Alright, here we go. We got the skateboard. We got it elevated so I can get these edges real good. And well, I'm going to put the clear on. And then we're going to get right to flaking. Alright, on goes the clear. Just going to get this nice and wet. And they're going to immediately go right into the flaking. I'm going to spraying the best right now. Fortunately, we're doing flake, so I can hide a lot of sin with it. I have to adjust this. I guess there's a learned lesson here. Adjust your gun. We're hitting the edges here with the flake gun. Make sure it gets flake on the edges. And of course, we're going to go around the top some more. And just look at this flake. It's just enormous. There we go. Pardon about the air compressor. Just comes on when it comes on. Alright, here's the board here. This isn't in the sunlight. I'm going to take it out in the sunlight. We'll take a gander at it. But I got all the flake on. Now I'm burying the flake with clear, which is a process. Because I'm putting a lot of clear on. I don't want to get solvent pop or any of that. So I got to make sure it's good and ready for the next coat. So the more I put on, the longer it's taking, obviously. One of the keys of doing this is that let's see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, is that it's got little bumps and stuff along the edges here. And it's to try to get the flake as flat as possible. Because when you go to sand this stuff, it'll like silver it out, and then you get these just kind of weird spots in the paint, and we're going to try to minimize that. So anyways, by the time I get to the graphics, this will be absolutely smooth. And so anyways, that's that on that. Let's go take a look at it in the sun. All right, I found a spot out here in the sun. You can really see this prism effect. I'm trying to just move that around so the camera picks it up. And yep, this is going to look good. Once I get the graphics on, it'll be really super cool. And there it is, nice prism effect there. All right, now we got the skateboard. It's all prepped out. I got it sanded down with 600. I'm going to go ahead and put the transfer tape on here. Hopefully I can do this and not get this whole thing messed up. And I'm going to be a little short on the one end here, but I can correct that by getting a piece. There we go. And then I'll just kind of gently just put that on there. Try to keep the wrinkles down. And there it is. And what I can do with this afterwards is that's where I'm going to start drawing out my graphics. But I'll go ahead and get this done. I've done this on other videos. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this finished real quick. Get this smoothed out. See, I'm getting a little bit of air bubbles here. We want to get all that stuff out. And there's, you know, a lot of curvatures in the surface right through here. But anyways, that's what I'm doing. Next phase will be doing the artwork. Okay, what I'm doing now is that I went ahead and used the spreader here. Got the masking sheet down, and I'm going to start to mark off. And the tools I'm using is, I got a flaky pencil. It's actually got metal flake on it. Using pencils and the ruler, I'm going to start to break down and put in lines, because I am going to letter in here, just brief, you know, put the name of the surf shop, which is K-Coast, which is here in Ocean City, Maryland. I'm going to put that in there. I'll have that marked, and I'll actually do the letters, and I'll show that portion coming up. And also I will be putting hibiscus flowers all the way around the edges here, small ones up here and bigger ones down like on the ends of the board here. And so I'll mark that. And then what I like to use is I like to use a lot of like Hawaiian nature stuff. So there's a red honey creeper bird, which I'll probably butcher in its name. It's a iwi bird, and that's I-I-W-I. And then I'll have them, they'll be facing inwards here, mirror image, and then they'll have their, I do these kind of like skull work coming off the tail feathers. It's not, you know, they don't have these big trailers behind them, but I just do it to add some dynamic to what's going on. So anyways, that's the kind of what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and line this. I'm not going to film that. And then I'll show how I replicate and do mirror imaging, and the hibiscus flowers coming up. Now I got the markings down on here so I can get the height of my letters and start getting everything centered up. I got that, and of course I got a center line going all the way down. Hopefully that's showing up in the camera. And I started doing my drawings here of just various Hawaiian flowers like the hibiscus, and I don't know what that is, and this other flower, it's kind of neat. And I'll end up reverse imaging that through the paper, which you don't really see, but I did draw my honey creeper bird there, and there's the name. And you can see this through the paper, so I can reverse image it. And then I will use carbon paper, and I'll show that briefly. And there it is. Okay, and off the center line here, I marked all the truck holes. And in the drawing, I put my marks here for the center. And so anyways, that's how I'm going to line it up. And what I want to do is have this bird line up with the center marks on the skateboard. And I also got to be aware of the truck holes, because it wouldn't be good to have too many holes through the bird. I do got one in the wing, which will be fine because the wing goes black, so it won't be as noticeable. and then I'll reverse image it over here, the same method. I'll come, with the paper. You can see that right there. I don't know if that's coming through. It is on the camera. And I will do the same thing. I'm gonna obviously darken up the image before I do that, and then I'll have a reverse image on that. Okay, I got this tacked down on the board. This line lines up with that, and vice versa over here. And I'll go ahead and pull this tape back here. I'm going to stick the carbon paper underneath, and that's how I'm going to replicate this image. I'm going to move this forward just a pinch. I'm never prepared. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of just tack that down just lightly and come in and trace this real fast. I don't have to make a mountain out of a molehill. This is a very simple drawing. I'll add detail on the painting portion. It's just basically to get the layout and the design done. And so anyways, this is how I do it. And I try to keep it simple. I really don't have any kind of artistic training whatsoever. I've been figuring it out as I go. I did work with a really good airbrush guy when I was younger, and I watched him a lot and learned a lot of things from him, as in doing what materials to use to transfer the artwork to the car or motorcycle and whatnot. But all the rest of this stuff I've learned basically by myself in the shop. I have a very expensive education because I've failed on a lot of things very miserably, and it costs money. And but it was all part of the learning process. So what I'm doing now is I'm showing you guys my methods, right or wrong, and I'm continuously learning. So anyways, that's my story. I'm going to stick with it, but I believe I've got this done. We'll find out here in a second by just simply picking that up, and there it is. I don't know how good this is coming out in the camera, but the image has been transferred. Now I'll go over to this other side and repeat the process over there by simply flipping the paper over, and I can still see the bird right there, because every time I draw on it, it's getting it darker, and therefore I can see it through the paper. So I'll do the same thing, line it up over here. I'm gonna move the camera over here real quick, and one day I'll grow up and have a studio. And I got my marks right there. They're kind of hidden a little bit. Just double checking where the wing is. I don't have that in the right spot yet. And it's a little bit more forward. This is going to be really heavy with flowers and vegetation, Hawaiian style or tropical. That's what I'm going for. I just want to move that over just a pinch more and get that wing lined up. So I got it lined up. I'll put that there. And again, I'm going to move the camera back just a little bit because I need my graphite paper to go underneath. I'm not trying to bore you all with this stuff here real quick, but I'm just trying to prove a point here, or show a point, not prove, about the mirror imaging and how I do it this way, and you can see that it works. And I got the eyeball there. And when I do this, also what's happening is I'm putting the image down on both sides of the paper. So I will use this. This will be a template for later on, because I do a lot of these birds, and I got a very simple drawing of it. This is something that I drew up, and I didn't copy it off anybody else. I just looked at pictures of the bird and simplified it, because with my artwork, what I got a lot of is just bright colors and very busy, and that's the way I like doing things. And I keep practicing the same stuff over and over again. I'm getting better at it and more detailed and whatnot. But I'll be finishing this up here in a second. It's basically almost done. Just got the one wing and the tail feathers there. And there we go, right there, and tail feathers. And I can refine it some more on when I do the razor cutting, or when I'm cutting out the portion, the bird portion here. And I can also fine tune it some more. But there it is, basically mirror imaged right there. I'll close that up there. So there's another light's not working real well there, but there's the bird mirror imaged. I got my center line right here, and hopefully this is showing up in the camera. We got spacing from here to here of 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. And that's to center up the K-coast, which has basically 7 positions in it. And that would be up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's obviously an odd number. So I need 3 on this side of the center and 3 on that side. The O is dead center. So anyways, I've double checked everything and then triple checked, because when you do this, you definitely want to have everything centered and balanced the way that you want it. And so anyways, I did all my double checking, and now I'm starting to put in the letters, and I'm just basically copying what did up here, and I'm drawing it in, and just, you know, kind of rough it in a little bit, you know, just little marks. I don't want to commit to anything completely yet and start drawing it down dark until I can see that I got the form right. And this is the way I do things. Again, I'm just kind of sketching this out. Again, I don't have a lot of art practice or ability or knowledge, we'll say. And I'm just kind of just loading this in here and not making it look awkward. And I'm just, there we go, I'm building it out. I don't know if this is coming in on the camera or not, but I'll darken it up here when I'm happy with what I've done. I'm building that out, and then I'll thicken that up. This bottom half is going to be thicker. And I think I got it where I want it. Basically, I'm not completely happy with that because it seems like it's a little wonky up here. And I'm correcting it. I think I'm good with that. So I'll just come in and I'll darken this up with the pencil right there. And again, I can correct it again a little bit more. I'm having a problem with that right there. Not happy with that, so come in and erase it. Made a mess. Try to clean that up a little bit. For some reason or another, I'm having an issue drawing that. I don't know why. I'm not going to turn this into watch me mess up video clip here, because now I got it going on. For some reason or other, just having an issue up here. There's bugs flying around. And there's the C right there. Out of the way of the light. And I'll carry on with the rest of the letters here. I'll show it when it's all done. Now I got the K-coast written down, and when I was doing the time lapse, I messed up. I stopped paying attention, and I put an S here and misspelled K-coast, but I got that corrected. You can see the mess in the background. And then I came back with the Omnichrome pencil, darkened it up. That way I could see it real good. I'm happy with the lettering and how it's laid out. Mind you, this is going to get filled in, borderlined, and drop shadowed. So it's going to fill in a little bit more as we go along. And now it's time to start doing the flowers. It's the same process. I'm just going to start putting them on, and somewhere in between, I'll just kind of show where I'm at and maybe explain why I did it the way I did. But we're moving forward, get this done. Okay, got some of the stuff going down, just various places all over it. And what I'm using is I'm using my template, flipping it back and forth, you know, kind of mirror image. And I'm just placing them randomly, like this lily pad looking thing and right here. And this here is graphite paper. This is what I'm using. It's not a product endorsement, by the way. It's what I use. This stuff is old. It's real old. It's got a price tag, for those who know. But anyways, here it is. Just kind of moving along. I'm going to keep plucking along. I was thinking about doing time lapse, but yeah, I already did time lapse on doing this. So that's it. I'll show it here in a few minutes. Okay, I got all the artwork drawn out on it. These things here, this is kind of, I just kind of drew them in to see how that would flow. It flows good. I'm happy with it. You got all the vegetation and flowers all the way around. And so the next phase is I'm actually going to darken all this stuff up so that I don't lose the imagery, because I got to start cutting out and then pasting, pasting the stuff back in. And when I'm painting the inside of this after it's cut out, some of the paint will bleed over onto that. So I want to be able to have that image dark enough so I can, on my next cut, that I can get that done. But anyways, here it is. Just a quick look. Very happy with this. Everything's coming out. Made some adjustments along the way. And, well, next phase coming up. There they are. They're cut out. And right here, I pasted these back down because we're going to use these some more. So there it is. And we'll blow some white paint in now. Got these cut out here. These are kind of like these reddish, pinkish, magenta kind of lily pad flower. So anyways, I'm doing them at the same time. I'm going to use the same red, but I'm going to put it on really light here and very vibrant here. So I'm going to use this next. This is my single action airbrush. I'll load that jar up with some white, put the base down because there's going to be more white, and then I will come back with the regular dual action airbrush and start doing the red colors in here, and etc, etc. So we're going to keep this moving along, and that's it. Let me get the painting going here. Start getting the paint on here. Nice and easy, just getting the coverage here, white. Now allow my colors to be bright. That's what people like seeing. They like seeing the things transform. They don't like just kind of see the slow churn here. We'll get the air pressure up just a little bit, get the volume of paint going out more. And the orange is put down. Over top of the yellow is some of the highlights, and as we're starting to build the structure of the artwork there, I will take these small pieces and I'll back tape over them. Give them a few minutes and make sure they're good and dry before I start slapping stuff on them. And we're going to keep on moving on. Next step is obviously getting that put on, and then we're going to take care of the red on all this stuff. All right, that's staying corrected. The next thing I'm doing is this green. Get that going on the stems here. These flowers. Just kind of doing that because it's smaller, and they're already pre-painted with the white base. So I'm just grabbing these real quick. Alright, now I'm blowing in some green here, neon green that is, nice and bright, which you can see in the camera, I'm sure. And I'll put just a few coats. I'm going to get it pretty intense. If you do it thin, it's too thin, it just dissipates too quickly in the sunlight or any kind of light. So we want to make it nice and rich and nice solid with the color. But there it is, that's the beginning. You can kind of see that compared to that. And we're going to rock and roll through this. Now I got the flowers all, they're all done in white. I back taped them and I cut out the center, and I'm going to go ahead and start filling them in with some orange here. There we go. That's round one. Very transparent, this neon yellow. I gotta hold back in my pinky there. Trying to see how it looks. Looks like there's a straight line there. I'm going to have to address that, and I'm going to keep on moving on. Yellow is on. Now I'm going to go ahead and start doing the blue. Same deal. Just going to start just building the color up, nice and easy. Go around. Start to darken up around the edges of the petals. Okay, I wanted to kind of show this color in the can. This is one of my favorite neons. It's I don't think it's made anymore. It's called Honey Neon. And let's see. There's the can. It's an old can here. This is the last of what I got. And come on, keep bringing it in. And yeah, see how it looks right there? And I'll move on to the next one right here. And once I get to the violet and the blue, I'll be at basically the darkest neon colors. I'm just kind of lightening these edges up here. And mind you, I still got a lot of hand painting to do, and that'll be the next phase here. But I'm getting all the transfer film off. Let's see the graphics. Yeah, just a quick look before I do the borderline. The nice drop shadows there, and that's starting to fill in a lot of this void here and bring some more dynamic to the artwork. I'll probably have to go over it twice to thicken the paint up. Pellet that out. Here, make sure I got a good line, and come around here just to give it a little dynamic. Doing this right around this one in particular, this nice neon chartreuse. Do that right here. It's getting harder to mix these colors because I've used so many of them, but you know, we'll get it. I'm not really concerned about it. It'll be good. It's just nice to be kind of getting this wrapped up. I've been working on it quite a few hours, and but anyways, there it is. I'll show some more when we're all finished. Here we go, just kind of going through the motions here. getting this laid down. After this particular flower, I got 3 left to do, and I'm really kind of jammed up with what to do. I got that one to do, and this one right there. And now I got the vines kind of put in there. They're just random. That's just to build more volume into the paint job, so there's not as much voids in there. And so far so good. And bring around the edges. Now here's the finished skateboard. This is like the second take of it. I lost a bunch of footage, so the footage had me doing all this striping here and all that stuff there. But I'll have to do another video where I show scroll working and all that. But the board came out wonderful. You can see it in the sunlight. Let's see if I can change the angle here. And you can see the kind of prism effect of the flake moving along. And oh no, I'm real happy with this job. It came out really nice, and it's nice and bright, and everything I want to achieve. And every time I do these jobs, my skill set grows bigger. So eventually I'll be hopefully really good, but anyways, that's what I'm striving for. But all in all, really nice. And again, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave me a thumbs up, comment, and there we go.